Top of the morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all the coaches out there, and welcome to the Friday Rant, but on Monday. Hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I was out digging in the dirt all weekend. It was really, really cool. I'm wanting to do more cool stuff, so I thought I'd dig out my garden planter of all the weeds and the grass and all the animals that were living in my vegetable garden and try and make some room for actual vegetables. Who would have known you could use a vegetable garden for vegetables? Life is full of surprises. Okay, enough of this. Let's get to the rant. Now, there's three things that you've got to stop doing as coaches. Coaches come to me all the time and they say, oh, Dermot, how do I call people and how do I tricky marketing stuff to get them into the calls? I'm like, you don't do any of that kind of stuff. It's nonsense and it doesn't work. It's a waste of your time. So there's three things you got to stop doing. Number one, stop cold calling. Stop calling up people and asking them, do they want to coach? Now, you can use social media to let people know what you're up to in the world. Let people know what you're doing. But if you think you can use social media for cold calling, you can put an ad out there and say, hey, call me, I'm a coach. I'll change your life. And people are going to call you. They're not. They're not. Now, I know these Friday rants are a little tough and they're kind of there's a little bit of Tony Robbins going on. But these Friday rants on Monday are really my attempt to cut through all the BS and just help you build your business as quickly as possible. So these are the things that I've learned from my coach over the years. I still have a coach today. He still cuts through the mud, it cuts all the stuff away so that I can see clearly. Don't use social media to get clients. You can let them know what you're doing, but cold calling clients or sending them an email, hey, do you want to coach with me? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You've got to create connections. Coaching is about conversation and connection. It's about building relationships with people. So you've got to take time and build a relationship with someone. You wouldn't go out on a date in the very first night. And the very first night, you're like, hey, sweetie, sweetheart, I know we've just met and it's only 10 minutes into the dating, but I feel like everything is going great. I'm pretty impressed with how the last 5 minutes have been. There's a connection. So I think we should go to the next level. Would you like to move in together? I think that would be, given where we're at in the relationship, I think that would be a good next step. Not going to happen. If the person says yes, I would think about that. So cold calling doesn't work. You've got to get to know people. You can't rush into, hey, yes, here's my flyer. Let's do some coaching. You've got to take your time, get to know the person. Hey, what is it you email them? What is it you're struggling with? Tell me a little bit about it. Oh, okay, well, here's a book or here's an audio or here's something I think can help. Or look, if you'd like some help with that, I'm happy to have a conversation with you. Don't even have to call it a coaching conversation. I'm happy to have a conversation with you. No strings attached. I won't try to sell you anything. We'll just have a meaningful conversation. And maybe we can get this taken care of forever. And if not, you want to have another conversation, we can do that too. This is how I give people an experience of what I do. I serve them, I help them. I create possibilities. I don't solve problems for people. So no cold calling. Next, stop telling people about coaching. So many coaches, and I did this for years, by the way. People say, oh, what do you do? I say, oh, I'm a coach. Oh, what's that? Well, let me tell you about coaching. By the way, that's what people hear when you're going on about the benefits of coaching. And so you want to share how coaching has impacted you. You want to share how your coaching has impacted your clients. So you share a client story. Well, you know, I could tell you about coaching, but that's like telling you about eating an apple if you've never had one. It's pointless. But let me share a little story about a client who was struggling with a lot of stress. And she was a stay-at-home mom. She had 3 kids. She was really stressed out. And we worked together for 3 months. And in those 3 months, we worked about organizing her time, prioritizing her time, giving her time to nurture herself, time for herself. We looked at how she was organizing her home and the different tasks in her home. And at the end of that 3 months, my client is now more balanced, more peaceful, has a more harmonious life, has a better relationship with her husband and kids, and she's even now decided to go back to work as a part-time job, whatever it might be. And you share the truth of having a client story. Don't tell people about coaching. Stop telling people about coaching in your emails, in your conversations, on your one-on-ones. Get them into an experience of coaching or share a client story with them. All right. Stop coaching people. Number 3, stop coaching people who don't want to be coached. Now, when I was training at Ericsson, before I created this online business building program for coaches, I coached with Ericsson for 4 or 5 years. And coaches would often say to me, Dermot, I was coaching my friend the other day and they got really annoyed with me. And I would say, oh, you were secret coaching. And they would say, what do you mean? I would say, well, did you ask for permission to step into a coaching conversation with the person? Oh, no, we were just having coffee and hanging out, and I thought I'd try the coaching thing on. And it got weird. And the police were called. So you want to always ask for permission. But here's the thing. Stop coaching people who don't want to be coached. Coaches come to me and they say, Dermot, I coached this person and then they didn't email me back, and I emailed them again. They didn't email me. They went south. And it was pretty obvious to me, Dermot, that they weren't interested. But I'm going to keep emailing them and, phoning them. If it's clear to you that someone's not interested, then you put them on your not yet list. Not your you're dead to me list, but on your not yet list. You create a little list for yourself on an Excel spreadsheet, not yet. And maybe you say, hey, really enjoyed the conversation. And maybe, you had one conversation and the person went south, ghosted you, or whatever they call that, just went into the ethers and never came back, never emailed you back. And you simply just put them on your not yet list. You say, hey, it may not be a good time for you for coaching, but I'm going to stay in contact. Put me on my newsletter, or every now and then I'll send you an audio or whatever it might be. And every Monday I look at my client cultivation, and I look at, what clients do I want to connect with? What clients have I not connected with in a while? I send them a little email or an audio or a gift, or I just tell them, hey, I was thinking about you. Hope everything's well. Here's a 1-hour free coaching session on me. Use it anytime in the future. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm here to serve you. I'm here to help. But there are people that just don't want the coaching, and coaches keep knocking on their doors, or they keep emailing them. Stop doing that. Tell the person, hey, if this is not the time, I totally understand. I'll check back in 3 months or 6 months. Here's a free 1-hour session on me. Use it whenever you need to come back. The door is always open. Especially in the beginning, new coaches, when you're just starting off coaching and you're just wanting to build your coaching practice, you may have quite a few people that you coach once and then they just go bye-bye. And part of that is they're not interested and they don't want to tell you. And part of it is they are interested, but they don't have the money and they're afraid to say that. So you can email, hey, is it a time thing? Is it a money thing? If it is, come talk to me. I'm happy to work with you. I'm just fresh out of school right now, and I'm looking for clients that I can help and connect with. And if money's an issue, we can talk about that. Because there's no standardized fee in coaching, so you can create however you want, especially in the early days. You don't want to focus much on the fee. You want to focus on getting clients, coaching clients, especially in the early days. That was the mistake I made. I was like, I gotta get clients. Coach. Coaches say to me, what's the greatest thing I could do in terms of being a great coach and having a great business? Coach. Get out there and coach people. All right, you've been listening to the Friday Rant on Monday. Next Coaches Cafe is coming up on this Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to be talking about the how-to of client enrollment. How do you enroll clients into a conversation? What do you say to them? What kinds of questions do you ask in terms of a client? What's the process for client enrollment? How do I connect with clients before? How do I connect with clients during? And how do I connect clients after? So we're going to have a really wonderful conversation. Again, I'll talk for about 15 or 20 minutes on client enrollment, and then I'll coach coaches. So there's a free resource for all the Ericsson coaches out there, created for Ericsson coaches. So come to it. This Wednesday at 7 p.m. I'll leave a link down below or up above for you to sign up on the sheet. All right, keep your business building questions coming. I'm going to be answering those every Wednesday on the Ericsson Facebook business page. I'll answer one business building question, so send them to me at Dermot, D-E-R-M-O-T, at ericsson.edu. Until next Friday or Monday, think big, have fun, stay curious. Be well, coaches. Cheers.